to my channel. Well, I thought I'd give you an update on this Vapcell S4 Plus fast charger, 3 amp. I really like this one. I bought a lot of battery chargers over the years, like Everready and different ones like that. A lot of times they're just limited to nickel metal hydride or something like that. They won't do lithium also. This will do pretty much anything. For example, we got a 3.7 volt 10440 right here. You put it in. Now, these right here are temperature sensors, which I find that comes in handy. All right, this display right here is always on unless you press and hold it. You can turn the display off if you're doing a long charge. Gunk on the screen. If you're doing long charges, you can do that. What I like about this is it gives you a lot of information. A lot of people don't need that. Maybe they just need this little graphic bar here. They don't want to know all the rest of the stuff. I'm interested in this. What I found out is this thing will automatically select the current charge that it's going to charge up. It's doing a little over 1 amp right now. You can change that by just holding down on this. And this is while it's in automatic mode. I wouldn't go 3 amps on one of those. I'd go like 1 amp. You let it go, and that's what it selects. It'll run it whatever you set it. It'll do it automatically, or you can change it. And I've never used this manual switch button over here. This thing does everything I need to do with the functions it's got right there. Here's where you can change modes. You can see it's charge, discharge, capacity test, repair. I just use charge. I don't do the charge discharge one that much, because I can tell if I put a battery in here and it's at 1% or 0%, it's pretty much used up all its capacity. And all I have to do is watch this over here. It'll flash between the charge current and the milliamps that it takes. And at the end, when it's finished charging, that's pretty much your capacity right there. You don't have to do the charge discharge test. Now, the repair function will work if your battery starts getting memory, or if it gets below like 3 volts or something like that. I think that you can use it. I've never used that, like I said. All right, now, some of the things I like about this are the capability of putting 3 amps in each bay if you want. I rarely do that. It'll automatically select, like I said, the current that it's going to charge at, unless you manually select it. And for nickel metal hydride, I don't go over 1 amp on them. It'll determine the amps a lot of times by the amount of internal resistance the battery has. It seems like if it's under 100, it'll throw it at the highest amps, but if it gets above 100, it'll regulate it. And down here you have the temperature. It doesn't change between centigrade and Fahrenheit, but that's all right. And yeah, with this battery charger here, you can tell if your battery's starting to wear out, because the internal resistance will get up. And it just comes in handy. It'll automatically tell you about what capacity the thing's at. When it's finished, I tried to count them before, but I think it's like 6 beeps that it gives. It goes beep, 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 and then that's it. It doesn't keep on doing that. If the display is off, the display will stay off when it beeps and everything, so you really won't. You can kind of see if you had your own little backlight, you can make out what's going on there, but That's why I turned this off. Is just it would still work without a backlight or a display, but it's not going to work as good as this. And this display is very good. It's very crisp. Um, like I said, I put the biggest battery I've got is the 21700. I put it in there and it fit no problem. And these are the small. Well, I actually have a little bitty smaller ones that I take out of solar light sometimes and charge, and it'll fit in there also. You may have to put a little, because there's not a lot of tension at the very end. You may have to put a little magnet on the end of this just to give it better contact. If it shows that it's charging, then it's charging, and you don't have to worry about that. All right, so like I said, you can jump between. It shows you which channel you're on. Channel 1, we're at 99%. And see, it's starting to, well, that's it. It's 82 milliamps it's taken so far. This is your watt hours, 0.29 watt hours. But you can see it's going down from 1 amp now to 800. So it's tapering it down because it knows it's getting towards the end of the charge. Yeah, like I said, this thing is great. The only problem I have occasionally is this brick right here. This cord is not super long. So when you got this brick right here, it's heavy. I mean, if you're got it on a desk, you won't notice it or anything. But if you got it laying down somewhere, this can tend to pull. Right before I did this video, right when I was setting this video up, I dropped this thing from my knee or from this table to the floor. And I didn't intend to do that, but it survived. So it'll survive like a 1 or 2 meter drop from my test inadvertently. And yeah, it also has the capability of being a battery bank. You just throw in some batteries in there and it'll battery bank. I mean, this thing really, it goes for about 40 bucks, which is about double what I would pay normally on a 4-bay charger. But I think it's worth it because I use it all the time. I don't use any of my other chargers now. I'll use a charger built into the flashlight, but I don't necessarily use one of any other charger. Now, the only limitation is some people might say, well, it's only for 4 bays and I want more. Well, then I don't think they make a bigger one, but they may. But this one works fine for me. If I got I charged up 16 of these batteries yesterday. They come from Amazon already charged, but they're not fully charged. They're at like 1.25 volts or something like that. And I just slap them in here. Like I said, this thing will beep at you. I'm hoping that this thing will get fully charged and it'll beep at us. See, it's gone down to 720 milliamps. This is the capacity it's got right here, but that's the charge rate. So it's automatically doing that. Really, this thing is like you don't have to be a techno geek to use it. And if you don't want all of these little features here, then you don't have to look at them. You know, it gives you the amount of volts it's got right now, how long it's been running, 8 minutes, the internal resistance, the temperature. You see it's gone up a little bit, 27. It's not warm at all. And the only caution about changing the current is if you were to try to do one of these small ones at over an amp, yeah, it might charge fast, but at what cost? I don't know. I've never done that because, like I said, the most I go is 1 amp on these. I got time. I'm not worried about it taking time. And it's gentler on the battery than trying to throw a lot of amps into it. But yeah, there you go. Just wanted to give you a little follow-up on this charger. And like I said, at Workhorse sells them. you have to go down on their tabs under accessories and batteries and select, there's another little arrow. You select further down from that on batteries and chargers, and it'll pop up. And this is about $39. They have discounts. Like right now, they got a 15% discount on everything. Happy 15. And so, yeah, these, like I said, this is a very nice charger, well worth the price in my opinion. And again, I'm not affiliated with Vapcell or Workhorse or anything else. I'm just a regular consumer. They don't send me anything for free, and this is just a totally unsolicited type of review on it. And I don't think you'd be disappointed with it if you get it. Now, if you don't need all these features and capabilities, then you don't need to pay that much for a charger. You can get, you know, a cheaper one for about $20-something, which will probably do everything you need. But if you want a little bit more capability and a really intelligent one that doesn't require a lot of thinking, basically you just pull the tab back and drop a battery in and it does the rest for you. Yeah, so there you go. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.